The morning sun crept over the skyline of Seattle, casting a gentle glow on the damp streets after a night of rain. People hurried through coffee-scented sidewalks, rushing toward offices, buses, and commitments. Among them walked Emily Carter, a 26-year-old graphic designer whose life had recently become a cycle of loneliness and exhaustion. She worked at a digital agency downtown, a place where creative minds thrived but personal warmth was rare. Deadlines overshadowed conversations, and competition replaced connection. Emily had moved from Ohio 2 years earlier, dreaming of a new beginning, but the city felt colder than she ever expected. Her apartment was clean yet silent, her phone filled with notifications but lacking genuine messages. She often wondered if she had become invisible in the bustling rhythm of the city. That particular Monday, Emily felt a heaviness she couldn't shake. On her commute, everything seemed louder, the traffic, the chatter, the screech of brakes. Her thoughts were scattered like leaves on a windy day. She walked into her usual coffee shop, Harbor Brew, a local favorite known for its warm pastries and even warmer baristas. People loved the place, yet for months, Emily had walked in and out quietly, never making eye contact, never engaging in small talk, and always keeping her headphones on. It was easier to be silent than to risk being disappointed. But today, something unusual happened. As she reached the counter, the barista, a young man with curly hair and kind eyes, looked up at her and smiled. It wasn't a polite, quick smile, it was a genuine, warm, I see you kind of smile. Good morning, he said softly. Rough day already, Emily blinked, surprised. Is it that obvious? Only to someone who's had plenty of rough mornings too, he replied. Your usual iced caramel latte. She hesitated. Wait, you remember my order. Of course, he grinned. You come in every day at almost the exact same time. Kind of hard to forget. For the first time in months, Emily felt something inside her shift, like the very simple act of someone noticing her cracked open a window she'd long kept closed. She thanked him, took her drink, and walked out with a strange warmth lingering in her chest. It wasn't romance or attraction, it was the power of being acknowledged, truly acknowledged, in a world moving too fast. That small smile lingered with her throughout the day. She found herself working with more ease, responding to colleagues with more patience, even laughing softly at a joke she would have ignored before. People noticed. You seem lighter today, her coworker Maria remarked. Emily shrugged, unsure how to explain that a single smile from a stranger had brightened her entire outlook. But deep down, she realized something profound. One small act of kindness had the power to ripple far beyond the moment. The next morning, Emily walked to Harbor Brew again, this time without headphones. She wanted to return the warmth she had received. As she approached the counter, she saw the same barista, whose name tag read, Liam. He flashed a familiar smile, but Emily beat him to it. Good morning, Liam, she said brightly. And yes, I'm here for my iced caramel latte. Liam laughed. I like this energy. Makes the morning feel less gloomy. Their interaction lasted barely a minute, yet Emily felt a renewed sense of connection. She walked out of the cafe with a lighter step. The sun seemed brighter, the air fresher. She even gave her seat up to an elderly woman on the bus and held the elevator for someone running late. None of these were grand gestures, but each came from a place of genuine warmth awakened by that one smile. Days turned into weeks, and Emily found herself becoming a different version of herself, someone more open, more present, more willing to see the humanity in people. One afternoon, while walking home from work, she noticed a teenage boy sitting alone on a bench near Pike Place Market, his eyes swollen from crying. People passed him without a glance, pretending not to notice. But Emily stopped. She remembered what being invisible felt like. Hey, she said gently. Are you okay? The boy shook his head. I lost my wallet. His voice trembled. It had my bus pass and money. I don't know how to get home. Emily sat beside him. Where do you live? Tacoma, he whispered. My mom's working. She can't come get me. Without hesitation, Emily bought him a hot chocolate, gave him money for the bus, and stayed with him until his ride arrived. Before leaving, the boy looked at her with a gratitude so deep it brought tears to her eyes. Thank you, he said. Nobody stopped. You're the only one. Emily smiled, warm and sincere. Someone once smiled at me when I really needed it. I'm just passing it forward. That night, as she walked home under the neon glow of city lights, she realized she had become part of a chain reaction. Kindness was spreading from one heart to another, quietly shaping lives in ways she never imagined. Weeks later, the story took a turn Emily never expected. She walked into Harbor Brew as usual, but something felt different. Liam wasn't behind the counter. A new barista stood there, tired and rushed. "Is Liam off today?" she asked. The barista shook his head. "He doesn't work here anymore. His mom fell sick back in Montana. He left 2 days ago." Emily felt her heart sink unexpectedly. She hadn't realized how meaningful their brief morning interactions had become. He had unknowingly helped her during one of the lowest phases of her life, yet she never got the chance to say thank you properly. She walked out of the cafe slower than usual, feeling the weight of missed gratitude. But kindness has a way of finding its path. A month later, as Emily walked home from work, she was caught in sudden rain. She dashed under the awning of a small bookstore, Greenleaf Books, shaking water from her hair. That's when she heard a familiar voice behind her. "Seattle rain still catching you off guard?" Emily turned, and there he was. Liam, holding a cardboard box and smiling the same warm smile that had changed her life. "Liam," she gasped, "what are you doing here?" He laughed. "I'm back. My mom's better now, thankfully. And I got a job here at the bookstore." Without thinking, Emily stepped forward and wrapped him in a brief, emotional hug. "I never got to thank you," she whispered. "Your smile, it helped me more than you'll ever know." Liam blinked, surprised. "My smile?" "Yes," she said, voice shaking. "You made me feel seen when I felt invisible. That one moment changed everything." Liam's eyes softened. "Then I'm glad. But you did the real work. You kept going." They stood there for a moment, two strangers connected by a chain of small kindnesses that had reshaped their lives. Emily walked home that evening with a warmth that outshone the storm. She realized something beautiful. Kindness rarely ends where it begins. It travels silently, touching hearts, inspiring change, and returning unexpectedly, often when we need it the most. Months later, Emily became known in her office as the person whose smile could turn anyone's day around. She volunteered at local shelters, greeted strangers with kindness, and even started a small online blog called The Smile Project, sharing stories of how simple acts of compassion changed lives across the United States. Her story spread, inspiring thousands to do the same, all because one barista in Seattle chose to smile. One small moment, one act that rippled across lives, and proved the truth she would carry forever: a simple smile can change everything.